Hello everyone, how good of you to join. A new day is dawning in Crown Falls, and as always our schedule is tight. We have lots of stuff to do while we enjoy the beautiful sunrise over my little harbor area at the moment. Now we still have lots of cannons here, by the way, that I might want to move then later on for something else, but well, for now let's just keep it like that. And let's just have a look around what we can do. And the first thing that comes to mind is, first of all, we have now the glasses and the light bulbs in, so my engineers are happier for that. Over 50,000 people at the moment, with a nice balance there as well, and we need to increase that balance. And some of you have rightly pointed it out. Yes, indeed, the bank is still missing. It's the last good or the last service that my engineers want. And for the bank, we do have a new building available that I've modded as well, or that is a mod actually. So let's just have a look around where we want to place those banks. We probably will go with 3 banks. One we can squeeze in down here for this whole area. And then I'm probably going to squeeze in one for this area and then one up here for this area, right? So that is the central town. So for my first bank, we are going to get rid of these buildings there. Let's just see how we can do this. I think, yes, we can upgrade those artisans here. And we should be doing that. So also those guys here, 2 engineers, off you go, right? Because the artisans or the engineers here, they lack now some certain services that the artisans still wanted. And that is the school. And that will also be the church that we have there, right? So the church we no longer need. And down here we still have the workers, I can see, but they should be affected by this marketplace there. And that is the case. So we can upgrade them. There's also one tiny one hiding in here. So let's just do that. And now we no longer need the school here. We no longer need the marketplace, and we no longer need the public or the pub there, right? So I can actually get rid of these buildings. Let's check that there's really no... we still have some workers. But now we should be golden with that. So let's get rid of these buildings here. Right, of these old buildings. Probably fire station, let's keep it for now, but we probably don't need that for a long time anymore. And let's also get rid of the school there, because we have a school over here somewhere as far as I remember. There it is, right? So that is still providing for those artisans there. Now with the space that we have, we can now safely move those engineers to this area, that we don't waste them really. Then we can add a couple more streets to this area, and then boom, we have lots of space over here all of a sudden. But the bank will be bigger, so let's also get rid of this road here. There's still one more engineer that I could probably move over there. I have no idea if he actually will stay engineer though. And let's just go for the new bank building now, which is huge. Let me tell you that's the one. Now as we can see, yeah, it's still not fine, so we still need to get rid of those buildings here and of this one. There we have it. Lots of new space, and now we should really be in the... should be able to build it. Beautiful. There it is, and we can squeeze it in just fine. Let's also just see how that affects my balance, going from 29. And as we can see, this is another big bump there actually by almost 9k in the balance overall that we can have here for the bank. And by the way, a really lovely building there. So if you want to know about this mod, then just have a look at the mod list, and it's there, the bank, the new one that we have. And I think it's fitting in right nicely. And it's also, by the way, now the biggest or the tallest building that we have so far. Of course, only for now though. Really fine looking one there. Why, Sean, you declare war on me? There is no reason for that. Let's just check this one there again. Ceasefire is actually possible. He wants a bit of money there, I guess. Yes. But other than that, we should be golden here. What are you doing? Benta, Princess Ching. No chance, really. We could try to flatter them. I'm not paying them any money, though. That's not going to happen. And with that, we also have now engineers plus 22 happiness. And we're not even using any strong propaganda for happiness increases. So those guys are really happy right now, and they should pay me handsomely. Perfect. Next up is my industrial district. We do have a power plant here already that I would like to activate now. There we have it. A new one coming into play. We still need to connect it with our district, or with our, well, train network. So there we have it. Perfect. This is at least working just fine. And there we still need this road connection over there as well. And with that, we can now build the motor assembly lines over here. I'm going with 2 for now. Oh, I need a bit more windows. They're really expensive, by the way. 1,800 credits they cost me, but they produce now the steam motors. And with that, we can finally then start building the steam ships that we need, especially the oil tankers that will be playing a vital role now soon. Now, another thing that I've noticed is in distant land, distant forest where we have our steel production, we are totally capped on steel beams. We do, however, have almost no steel beams in Crown Falls. What's going on here? And I guess that the steel beams that we are transporting here with 1 clipper only, and only here, as we can see, 100 tons, which is a 50 tons, because a clipper cannot transport more than 50 tons for each slot, as long as we haven't gotten any upgrades there. And this is, of course, way too little. So I'm going to scrap this one. Where's the ship, by the way, right now? It's still on its way up to the north here. So there it is somewhere with the appropriate steel beams. Perfect. So let's just wait for this one to arrive here. And then I'm going to get rid of the steel beams here, and I'm going to have my own steel beams delivery only. Or what we could do is instead of 3 slots with steel, let's go with 2 slots of steel beams, right? So that's 100 tons. That are being transported then to Crown Falls for the ship that is arriving now. Let's just see what it's doing. Very good, there it is. And then we're just adding a second ship to this. We do have a couple of them available right now. 3, Independence, Europa, and Fortitude. And we are, of course, going then with one of the new clippers there. However, I need to wait there for this ship now to make a turn. While that clipper is on its way and we're waiting for that, I can also clean up my harbor area there a bit. We don't need these fire stations and those warehouses anymore, since we no longer have any production chains here in the main area. Those cannons, of course, I'm going to keep them as many as possible, because you never know when there's a surprise attack coming in. However, I'm going to move them, if possible, please, without sticking to bias there. If possible, I would like to move them a bit further away. This is a tricky one here. Are you actually for real? Let's have it over there somewhere. Right, and this one here as well. And this one a bit further away. The defense is still there. The defense still needs to be destroyed in case there is an attack coming. But for now, we should be fine. And with that, we have a bit more space for our docklands once again. So let's go ahead and do something else and get us the next export offices that we need in this area then here for additional, well, contracts that I'm going to add. So let's just add another 2 wings to this one here. We can actually build them right away. Let's build both of them. And let's have a new contract here, and this time it's for the hops. Now we want to get the hops in. As we can see, we have 4 contracts with the sewing machines right now, yet sewing machines is still capped. I don't know. Either we really have so much sewing machines. Wait a second. The soap is at legendary and we're only getting the pigs in. Let's use the soap for that. And let's say 300 soap that we trade. That's 560 hops. That should be fine. It should be enough. We are producing right now. Oh, we have 17 hops plantations. That is actually quite a lot. But let's get rid of them. No longer are they needed. We do save some farmer workforce with that, and also a bit of cash overall. Right, off you go. Fantastic. Also get rid of these warehouses there. We have other plans for this whole area then here. And let's just see how negative we are now. Minus 17, right? So that is what we need. That's around 340 hops that we need for every Tobias that comes in. So we are at 560. We can reduce this a tiny bit, but let's just keep it as a surplus. And if it's capped then at some point, then it's capped, and we're happy with that, right? But that's fine. So we have the hops now coming in as well. And once again, this is exactly what I like the docklands to be, using these raw materials here, getting these raw materials in order to save me some space and cheap farmer workforce basically. Now for my trade route, the clipper is actually already down there. So let's add the second clipper now to this trade route here for the steel beams. Right, so this one is on its way now too. While the other clipper should be down here somewhere. There it is, with 100 tons of steel beams and 100 tons of steel. That's exactly what we need for our city up here. By the way, there is a resident quest. Let's do this one. The grand opening, finally grandfather's canning plan comes true. A picture will inspire my own grandchildren to preserve the business forever. A photography quest and of the canneries. with a random reward. I always take random rewards. You never know what you get out of them. And there you go. Not so grand opening. Few attend opening ceremony. Oh, and we get something for the museum. How very good, because I'm actually having the museum up my agenda pretty soon now. And by the way, as always, I'm not always recording it, but as always, I need to reroll and hope to find me something nice here. And unfortunately, really, we are extremely unlucky. Like, I haven't seen that before, that Chef Michel isn't. I'm already suspecting that he might actually not be in here anymore. I'm pretty sure that I've purchased him here quite a lot of times. I wouldn't know where else we could search for him. Up here, there it is. Finally, I was waiting for this. The coffee. Finally, we have the coffee seeds. So affects coffee plantations, productivity 25% plus coffee fertility provided for a bit of cash there. And that's it. We also have the coffee roaster special item here already. Productivity 30% and workforce needed. Plus, we only employ jornaleros then. And there is something else here. No, not really, right? The other items are not that useful. Let's get the coffee up here to my auspicious isle. And here we can now finally start with the coffee production. For the coffee production, I would also like to get my next clipper in. Oh, wait a second. We have 13 steam motors finally working. I don't have enough steel beams, though, to build me the shipyard yet and any ships. So let's build us another clipper. And let's send the Independence here to the New World already now. Let's make it Tristão and then Auspicious Isle, right? Because I'm not entirely sure that they take the right path there and getting destroyed in the process rather quickly. Steel beams, yeah. I hope the fixing of this trade route is working now soon. There's 100 tons coming in that we can finally continue building something in Crown Falls. By the way, yes, there's only one more thing now missing, and that's the coffee for my engineers. And that's what we need to work on, and that's working up here. The caoutchouc we have already, and I'm going to keep this area for caoutchouc, right? And down here, it's going to be for coffee. Let's go ahead and get us a road all the way to that side. And here I can then start with my coffee. And yes, for the coffee, we need to be really efficient there. So there we have the trade union, then the future trade union. And I'm trying to squeeze in as many coffee plantations here as possible that we can then have in all of these areas. Let's also have a road here because we are going to need more, space here then. I guess here we're going to have the coffee roasters then working for us. And up here we have one more gold mine and also a clay deposit that I would definitely like to use then later, but much more important is the gold mine here to me. So let's get the gold mine over there as well. And then I'm just trying to squeeze in more of them as possible. So there we have them. Of course, we will also need some warehouses. So I'm going to have a warehouse a bit further outside and one right here in the center that is then going to work for all of them. We should be having enough resources to upgrade them as well then. And then I can squeeze in 2 more here from what I can see. Perfect. And then probably, yeah, a lot more here then. So that's still lots of coffee plantations that are possible. Let's just finish this one there as well. Down it goes with all of them. And then this one, by the way, that we can just... Oh, but yeah, very good. We also got some clippers ready there then again. And this one here, right? And we still have plenty of space here for more. Basically, I can double the whole thing here on that side too, that we need them. We do, however, let's just see how much do we need to produce really. How high is the demand in Crown Falls, my quaint capital, for the coffee at the moment? 17. That is a lot. So 17 coffee only with the city that we have right now. So I can easily say 25 that we need long-term wise once I start upgrading. And since investors do need coffee as well, let's actually say 30 to 40 coffee that we need per minute. This is insane. That is a huge amount of coffee that we're going to need here. That's why I need to be very efficient about that. And also, I'm going to use a lot of items to boost the productivity of these plantations. Let's get my Royal Galleon down here once again. By the way, there is a ship for sale. How expensive is that? She's not selling it? There she is. 50,000, but 80 influence. We cannot afford that because of influence reasons. The cooldown should be off again. I would like to check my Eli. I've wasted so much money on this guy by now. He has become a rich man thanks to me. There is something for the artisan kitchen now, but it's only affecting the workforce, not really their input at the moment. So for the production that I'm aiming right now, that is 25, perhaps even 30, I need 15 coffee roasters. And the coffee roasters, well, I also do have a potential item then up there that can work for the coffee roasters. So I would need another trade union. Now these trade unions are getting a bit expensive because each one of them costs me 20 influence. But still, I think it's going to be worth it. I mean, it's definitely going to be worth it, and the influence should not be the biggest problem long-term wise. Let's get us the trade union up here. I'm going to have my warehouses down in this area where those people can deliver, and probably also one warehouse here, right? And then around this trade union, we can now have our coffee roasters. So that's 19 coffee roasters. Let's make this one with one more that is then probably not boosted, but we can still use it to have 20 coffee roasters. That's up to 40 coffee per minute that we can produce with them, but that's not the end of it yet. We can boost that with another 40% with the items, and we could also increase their working conditions, right? So this is going to be for up to, I think, 70 to 80 coffee per minute that is possible here. And, well, for the coffee plantations, we do have 13 plantations at the moment. That leads up to, well, only 6 that can be fully utilized. So, well, I do need way more coffee plantations, and we can only really have them in this area. So let's just squeeze in a couple more here. As long as we're connected with the trade route, we should be golden, the trade union. So there you go, with all the coffee plantations now surrounding this single trade union. We still have plenty of space, so if I find that item again, of course, we can double that whole thing easily. It's basically now this whole coffee. We have more here for the caoutchouc then, more here for the caoutchouc if we need to. We could also get tobacco on Auspicious Isle if we want to, but I think we should be golden with that. Now, before I build them, I do need influence. We don't have the right amount of influence to get these items. Also, let's just check what kind of items we want to use here then. The hybrid coffee beans, so this one affects coffee fertility and also productivity, 25% on top of that. Plus we have the arborist, another 15% productivity on coffee plantations, and plus the trade union coffee roaster, 30% productivity increase, and also workforce substitution. Perfect, 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 perfect. This is really looking good. What is not so looking good is though my influence with that. So I should either tone down on my defenses, and I'm probably going to do this in Crown Falls, because I don't think we really do need that much defense here anymore. Let's tone it down, and also here, those 2 cannons we can get rid of, getting us 32 influence. That's enough for 1. I do, however, need 2 trade unions, right? So we still need some 8 influence. How far are we away from the next level? Not that far, 1,500 people away, 2,000 people away. So we could upgrade a bit. We have the steel beams. Let's go ahead and get us cracking in Crown Falls with a few more engineers. Also here down the road. And here, and by the way, yes, I know it's looking a bit uniformed here, right? Only engineers. This is getting much more diverse than once we have the investors and the skyscrapers coming in. So for now, we just need to work with what we have there really, and get us, well, all the engineers that we can get. There we have it. There we can have another full block working. Perfect. And now we're actually out of windows. Also, we have lots of bricks. So I could go ahead now and get us more paved roads. And I know some of you have been aching as well for some ornaments, right? And of course, at some point, I should just add them to that city. For example, here we do have our temperate groves then, and I would also like to get me some elm trees then here, especially to fulfill these blocks there, right, into something that is looking a bit more proper, a bit more city-like. And then we just need to have really those entrances here also being paved then as well. Lucky there is also some new mechanics here that allow to make this one a bit quicker overall, right? So I can drag the streets over there even though they're not connected. They still get their respective upgrades. Also here in the center, we should of course look out to not have only big trees, but also these poplar trees. I do like them as well. Just some smaller ornaments here in between. Also here, more trees, and then also my roads. There's lots and lots of these smaller gaps everywhere that I can fill up with some trees if I want to. The temperate grove is my favorite to go because it's just looking very diverse. Also like the oak trees, of course, because of their autumn feeling that they have to it. We don't have any parks at the moment, and this is also something that we can have a look at then later. Look at that, that's 3,600. Now we can afford it. There was a time when I was not able to afford me that much. Let's have some elm trees then here for these areas, and then we continue with some proper roads as well in Crown Falls while we wait for a bit more influence to come in. It's the details that matter. A little chess garden here as well, a little chess table that we can have right next to some cypress garden with a few benches on the way where people can sit on, together with perhaps some trees to get the shadows in, and also some flower beds in the back. Let's just add us a few more trees here, and then some flower beds in between. I'm also continuing with adding all of the different avenues now with brick roads, which is going to take a while. That I could speed up by copying my paved roads and just copy them over the original ones, right? So we can speed it up like that a bit more. A bit more, I should say, actually a lot more. And we can also see how expensive it is, one of these blocks to add when it comes to the bricks. Really, it does add a lot of flavor there, having them paved roads. As tedious as it is. Since windows is lacking really often now, let's build us 2 more window factories. We can afford it. I should also upgrade my warehouse in order to accommodate for the additional transporters now. And let's just have paved roads in my industry districts, of course, as well from now on. And by the way, we've just spent 400 tons of bricks in just paving the roads. It's visible in some areas, not so visible in others. Alright, let's have this whole area now also being upgraded as we continue. So step by step, of course. The next big one, this really should us push please now to 52,500, so 1,000 more we need. It's really important that we get this very upgrade there for the influence, because I really don't want to tone down any more on my defenses that we have, right? As that is very, very dangerous, really. Let's upgrade these guys. We're out of bricks now, so I need to wait there a bit, and out of windows with all this upgrading here, but it should come in quickly anyway. I might also build us more farmers. That's more people as well. We have a marketplace over there. I would like to probably have, let's just see, let's have actually some normal buildings here only, right? As this is a, how far are we outside here? Right? It's still going to be a city center there, more or less. It's still going to need to look proper there at least somehow. So let's upgrade, or let's get us a few more of the known blocks in that we already know. So there is another one of these that I could add, and then I would like to have my marketplace here somewhere. Yes, there's a lumberjack hut that we are destroying in the process now. Since timber is not our highest priority anymore, we can also get rid of one of these sawmills here. It's not the one that we need the most. Unfortunately, I need to go down back to dirt roads again, since there's really nothing else I can do in that case. Let's have here some more farmers then once again. This is the main road, right? It continues then over there and then into this area. We might actually need to remove them again later on if I want to extend my train network. It's important though that we build these farmers now, so this whole block we can definitely finish as well if we want to. Probably with one of these, or we have these guys there as well. We do have a bit of a patched network here right now with the road systems that we will tackle then as well once I have more bricks again. All about that final push here to the next level. It's really hard. And some of my ships are under attack, it seems. I hope not. I don't see anything. And he's doing that a lot now. Look at that. This is not going to end. He wants this island here, and he will try to do this now forever. but we can't give it up, of course.
Guys, is that how it is?
Also, very important, in Larson, we have the beef farms and the red pepper farms. I've boosted them by 50%. We do need some police stations here, just in case there's some riots. I am not expecting any riots soon, but there might be some. Let's just add one police station here and one police station up here, just in case. We do have the materials for that. We do need a bit more beef and a bit more red pepper for the canned food. That has, or the consumption for this also has risen there a tiny bit. Building material store are really coming quickly, so we can continue upgrading our artisans here to engineers, more and more of them. And I probably still would like to have more farmers in this whole area. There you go. I'm going to keep this area open or free right now because I don't know how I want to continue with the main road then there. And for my train networks, we can of course continue as always adding some more decorations along the tracks. My people don't have to see these tracks. The exception would be here in the industrial district. So far so good. I'm waiting for that last final push now for the upgrade, which really should be happening now. And there it is, the push to 52. With that, we have now 40 influence. That means 2 trade units that I can use for my new production. That is the coffee. Pooh, that was a long way. But at least the city is also looking much better now. And we can finally head on for the last push towards investors. Stay tuned.